Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Chorn Love, here with a unique Friday edition, but nonetheless, here for your AEW Dynamite review for August 24th, 2022. Usually, I post on Thursdays, or they're uploaded on Thursdays, but busy day yesterday, but nonetheless, here for your review for my subscribers. But as far as Dynamite is concerned, now I may either tomorrow or Sunday, get your AEW Rampage review. So schedule may look a little bit funny, but still get the reviews up for you guys. Dynamite was interesting on Wednesday night. I say interesting because, well, All Out on September 4th is shaping up to be a hell of a pay-per-view card for AEW. We got a lot of clarity as far as the card is concerned as a Wednesday night. However, a question mark for everyone, or for many people, as far as when the night is concerned, is the world title situation. Now, last week, CM Punk called out Hangman, and it wasn't in the cards for Punk to actually call Hangman. But this landed Punk in some hot water, and Wednesday night, the unification bout between Moxley and Punk didn't even main event the show, and was not really a competitive match. It was like 5 minutes, and, Punk, quote unquote, got injured again, or re aggravated his injury, his foot injury. And Moxley took advantage, hit 2 paradigm shifts. That was all she wrote. Punk was helped out by officials. I mean, Moxley celebrated. It was odd. And, this leaves an open book because we are a little over a week away from All Out. And yes, it's shaping up to be a hell of a card, but we do not know the main event yet. Nor do we know a world title match on the show. And, many people, including me, were expecting, on Wednesday, perhaps MJF make an appearance, Hangman Page, otherwise has an appearance. Neither of those guys showed up in the match, so It's an open book to see where it leads. Now, nonetheless, Dynamite was a good show, but the main event scene is up for grabs, really. You know, I guess we'll see how it goes. We now have one world champion again. One official world champion, and how it goes, we'll see. The other big thing, really, that happened on Dynamite was Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is supposedly injured. Thunder Rosa, the AEW World Women's Champion, was reportedly set to defend the AEW Women's Championship at All Out versus Toni Storm. But alas, Rosa announced in a backstage segment that she is injured. And there will be a 4-way women's match at All Out. Toni Storm versus Britt Baker for Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida for the interim AEW Women's World Championship. Now, it's a unique situation because Thunder Rosa, her reign, as much as we can look at it, has been, for the most part, underwhelming. And it hasn't been her fault. The stars of the women's division are clear as day Britt Baker and Jade Cargill. And they've been given much more leeway despite not being the women's world champion in AEW. And, now that she's injured, it's a weird dynamic now because they looked like they were building towards something between Rosa and Toni Storm for the last few months. And this setback is unfortunate. But it leaves another open book for All Out and for the women. I will give it that. But nonetheless, thank you for joining me. Before I get into the review, if you like this video and you want to see more, click the subscription box in the corner. Take you to all my videos on the homepage. Find the playlist on the channel for AEW Pro Wrestling reviews, etc. Where I cover Dynamite, Rampage, covered Ring of Honor. I'll do an all-out review next week. Probably on Monday of not this Monday, but coming Monday. So you can find that on the channel as well when it comes out. But thank you let's get into it. Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia. This was a good segment to open the show. So, Jericho welcomed out Garcia. Garcia looked disgruntled and looked distraught. And, felt like he was in a rock and a hard place because Bryan Danielson came out and he's torn in between his hero, Bryan Danielson, and his mentor, Chris Jericho. So, all Jericho wanted was just an apology. He said, tell everyone that you're a sports entertainer. Garcia, before Bryan came out, Garcia mentioned how he had a great match with Bryan last week. Say hung with him for 30 minutes. Some people are calling that the best Dynamite match in history. I mean, it's up there, but as far as the greatest, I don't think so. But he also mentioned he hopes he inspired people to say that's the kind of match that they want to have for a pro wrestler. So Bryan came out. Bryan said you can be whatever you want to be, but in this when the loud "You're a wrestler" chants came out, Bryan said he knows Garcia is a wrestler. So Jericho got more animated and told Garcia, admit you're a sports entertainer. So Jericho was again trying to pressure him, but Garcia said he's torn between his hero and his mentor. He said, I can't do this, leave me alone, leave me alone. So he was about to turn away, and then Jericho tried to grab Garcia, and Garcia shoved him down to the shock of Chris Jericho. And to the delight of Bryan Danielson, Garcia left. So Bryan said that was entertaining. So Jericho said to Bryan, I'm sick of the narrative that people say that you're the best pro wrestler in the world, and that the narrative should be he's the best pro wrestler on the planet. Says that he's the last survivor of the Stu Hart dungeon. So Bryan said, well, okay, if Stu Hart was here, who would he say is the better wrestler? If Owen Hart, who Jericho looked up to, who would he say is the better pro wrestler? So he laid out a challenge to see who's the better wrestler, Bryan or Jericho. And then Jericho said, well, you guys want it, you got it. But at September 4th, at All Out. So, key match, Bryan versus Jericho. You know, Daniel Garcia in the middle of this. Who's he going to side with is the question. His hero Bryan Danielson or his mentor Jericho? I mean, both ideas sound very good. Very good. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Either way, it's a win-win, really, because either Garcia joins the Blackpool Combat Club, or B, Garcia stays with the JS, betrays his hero, and just gathers more and more heat and becomes a bigger heel for it. So either way, it's interesting. We got Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal. Saw a match between two, Dax, this year he's just been laying the work. Has had a solid 2022 campaign, really, for AEW. Jay Lethal is great. We know that. This is a good match. Excuse me. Seeing FTR again is always good. Seeing Dax draped in gold, it is mind-boggling how still seeing him on AEW. But so Lethal and Suicida went for the knee of Harwood, went for the figure four. Harwood got out of it, went for a sharpshooter, but Lethal got out of it. Went for a slingshot lighter bomb, which is always fun to see for near fall. Then locked on the sharpshooter, but again, Lethal back and forth. They exchange big moves and array of pins. Dax actually springboard crossbody off the middle rope for two. Finally, the end of the match came. Lethal rolled up Harwood, used the tights for leverage or trunks. 1, 2, 3, and Jay Lethal gets the victory over Dax. And big news coming out from at the end of the match. So Sanjay Dutt mentioned how it's going to be a trios match at All Out, but instead of Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh being the partners of Jay Lethal, it was announced that Jay Lethal will be teaming with the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, one of the best tag teams I've ever seen. TNA legends, You know, one of the best tag teams I've ever seen. Motor City Machine Guns on AEW. For All Out, it's gonna be fun. Now, it's obviously a bit disappointing that Wardlow is not gonna be defending the title at the pay-per-view. Same with FTR not having a bit of a more meaningful match. But against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, you know, it's gonna be very good. Very, very good. Not to take anything away from Lethal and the Machine Guns, it's just the way Wardlow has been booked as of recent. It's a bit underwhelming. So Thunder Rosa, she's backstage. She announced with Tony Schiavone about that she's injured and the interim title match will be going forward at All Out. You know, it was just so out of left field, which took people by surprise. I mean, backstage, she's injured, not in the arena. I mean, it was strange. Next, we had father for son, Colton Gunn versus his father Billy, Milligan. You know, the Gun Club I enjoy. They are a rising tag team. They got room to grow. Now, him Colton versus Dad on Dynamite felt a bit unneeded. But this match was short. You know, Stokely Hathaway distracted Billy with an attack on the Acclaimed. Colt hit a low blow, hit the Colt 45, 1, 2, 3, and Colton B is dead. Short match, Afterwards, Stokely officially offered his business cards to the Gun Club and they accepted. Afterwards, they continued to beat down on Billy. Swerve and Keith Lee came out for the save. And yeah. So, Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, and now the Gun Club are Stokely Hathaway's recruits. I mean, we'll see how the finished product is. I mean, some unique names, I will say. Britt Baker versus Kilynn King. Kilynn King, seen her a few times. And here in this spot with Britt Baker, she did well. She did well. And she's still not all elite yet, but I think she is close. So in the end, Britt Baker won with the lockjaw. King gave up. Afterwards, Britt cut a promo on Thunder Rosa saying how she defended her title in a reign with a broken wrist. You know, Britt, I don't think it's time for her to have another title reign yet. You know, right now, I'd say, personally, my top two choices would be either Tony Storm or Jamie Hayter. I mean, they've been building up and building up Tony Storm. But Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida, who is great to see her again, you know, Shida and Hayter have not really done much singles wise recently. So it's a weird part of this four-way match, but I don't know, we'll see. Afterwards, Tony came out, was attacked by Hayter. Shida came in for the save, so yeah. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland offered a challenge to the Claim backstage, and Claim said they're the best homegrown AEW Tag Team, and everyone loves the Claim. They denied their praise, but Tag Team title match for All Out. Next, I already went in depth about it, but go over it. Moxley first Punk, pretty simple. Mox was taking the fight to Punk. Punk fired back, went for a roundhouse, but was in pain as he fell, grabbed his plant leg, plant foot. Mox went for the attack. Big lariat, elbows, two paradigm shifts for the win. Moxley is your undisputed AEW World Champion. Christian Cage, he was backstage with a cast on his arm. Said he tried last week for one last olive branch. Said he gave him a chance to, or Jungle Boy a chance to apologize for all the negative things he said about Christian. Yes, he said some stuff too, but it's unfortunate as he said that Jungle Boy will never be as smart as him, never be as big as him, never be Christian, and that he accepts Jungle Boy's challenge for All Out. Intriguing match. Might be arguably the most intriguing match I have on the card so far. We'll see. Ricky Starks, he was in the ring. He talked about Powerhouse Hobbs, saying that Hobbs was not somebody till Starks showed him the way. He was a bodyguard for Britt Baker. There was a saying, don't trust anyone in this business. Well, he thought Hobbs was the exception, but He clubbed him back of the head, hit his neck. Starks got emotional because of his neck injury. And now he was close to losing all of that. So Starks laid out the challenge, bring your $5 ass to Chicago and fight him at All Out. And another match made official. Another good match. Moxley cut a fiery promo backstage saying how, sorry that wasn't how it's supposed to go down. That, it's been a hell of a year, hell of a run. Said that he's not a guy, he's the guy. That his time is right effing now. Fiery promo by Mox, the new AEW interim, or undisputed rather, world champion. The main event was off the charts, was great, between the United Empire and Death Triangle. Quarterfinals match in the Trios tournament. Very fun. Very all over the place, but fun. The exchanges between Osprey and Pac and Phoenix, great. So, Tope is by Death Triangle out of the gate. Aussie Open fired back with some offense. Hit a front power slam DT combination for 2. Pac got a big tag. Went for a German on Phoenix. Or, excuse me, Osprey. Phoenix hit a tightrope kick. While Pac hit the German for 2. Osprey at Oscutter for a separation. Pac then hit a Avalanche Brainbuster. And then they were all in the corner. Pac, Osprey, and Phoenix. Phoenix went for a slingshot Hurricanrana off the top rope to Osprey. He landed on his feet. But followed a cutter by Phoenix. Penta Tope. Hack went for a black arrow, but got the knees for a near fall. Osprey went for the Stormbreaker, but was countered by Pac with Hurricanrana for 2. Pac looked like he went for another black arrow, but Aussie Open rolled Osprey to the outside. Pac setting on the ring post, not the top rope, the post. Hit a moonsault, which took out Aussie Open. Saw the box guy in the crowd, which many have been gesturing towards Kip Sabian, and took the box off this guy. This guy was some schmuck with his mouth duct taped. Kip Sabian blindsided Pac, took him out for a wrestling match. Kip Sabian we have not seen in a long time. He looked good. He looked good. So Pac was taking out Aussie Open, went for the offense on Phoenix, got a big lariat. Fletcher took out Penta. Big assisted Oscutter by Osprey for the win. United Empire get the victory and move on. Next week they will face Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can't wait. Afterwards, Kenny and the Bucks came out to address the United Empire. They didn't say anything until after the show, but it was fun. And Osprey invited Kenny into the ring. Kenny was held back by Don Callis. That was the show. Besides the main event scene, and some things were odd about the show, overall it was a good show. Great main event. I mean, got gears to look forward to next week before All Out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But nonetheless, that was the show for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Despite one day later, but nonetheless, if you like this video, click that like button, leave a thumbs up. Help out the video, help out the channel. Of course, also, if you want to see more of these videos, click the subscription there in the corner. But thank you all. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday for AEW Rampage. But thank you all. Be safe. I'm Joe to Love. Get out of there. Peace.